Welcome everyone to episode 20 of Pineleaf Plays The Lore Master. We're here at the Bree Skirmish Camp where I just completed the tutorial. So it's time to go in for our first skirmish. And we will run Trouble in Tuckborough. As I said before, we'll start at Tier 2 because Tier 1 is going to be much too easy, I'm pretty sure, between the current offensive power of the Lore Master and the fact that level 20 skirmishes tend to be toned down a bit in any case for those who are just learning the system. But as I've skirmished before, I suspect
Brigands and goblins lay siege to the great smeals of Tuckborough. Provisions are running low, and time is running short.
I suspect that a level 20 skirmish will be a bit easy for me, for someone who's already experienced in these. Alright, rename my soldier and bring out my bog guardian, who I named Grass. It's the first thing that came in my mind. Alright, now let's see. Alright, we'll start her off and see how it goes. Yeah, my first brigand in the Shire. Actually, no, I can't. I'm in combat technically, so doing the debuff now won't be possible. There we go. Hit first skirmish. Yep, we're going. Maybe I should have done tier 3 instead. It is certainly going through fairly quickly. Very well, now here we get our first counterattack. We get two counterattacks at this point, plus lots of fees relating to the Shire. Done already, huh? Of course. Now sometimes these days, if you want to improve make skirmish more challenging, you might want to consider bumping it up a level instead of going up the tiers. In the past I didn't recommend that due to the way the instance finder worked, but that's no longer applicable unless things change in tomorrow's patch. But the idea is that you get a lot more in the past you would get a lot more marks by being at the same level and changing the tier, because due to the bonuses you get for using the instance finder. But the instance finder bonus seems to have been taken out for Helm's Deep, most likely related to encouraging people to do epic battles instead, although I don't know the real reasons. Now, if things weren't so easy, I would probably fight back here, get a little help from the bounder there, but I don't really seem to need his help at the moment. Now, one of the advantages of fighting above level rather than a higher tier is if you have a skirmish with a large number of defenders, and you find that skirmish is easy for you to fight, but tough to keep the defenders alive, then you may want to bump up the level to make the opponents tougher, but at the same time, it also makes the defenders a little bit tougher also because the defenders will be at the same toughness as the opponents. Of course, if you want it to be a tougher challenge, you may just decide that, well, yeah, bump up the tier also. If you want your challenge to be trying to keep those defenders alive. And same thing would be true if you bumped up the group size. Since the higher the group size, the tougher it is to keep your defenders alive, since doing so, bumping up the group size, either gives you more opponents or tougher opponents, except for duo. Well, duo can give you more opponents, especially in this one, but they tend to be a little bit weaker due to how duos are worked. But if you have more opponents and all the stuff and the defenders are not bumped up, then things can get a little tough on keeping them alive, which is why in raids the most likely reason for failure is due to things like the twins in the Fort of Bruin getting killed or the like. Enmity of the Wargs. Yes, that's how you bring up that deed. How many times do I have to run this skirmish in order to complete this deed? Well, fortunately I'll be running into more than enough wargs soon when I hit the Lone Lands. Alright, up here is Gash Fog. This is also one of the entrances in order to get to the second area, which it was closed the first time we were here because you need to open up the... You have to take all 3 control points before you can unlock this entrance. But it comes in really handy when you have the warg to get, because it's a lot quicker to get through here, especially if you got Gash Fog and you have to come up here anyway. But if you have neither of those 2 encounters, alright. Must have resisted that. Alright, is my archer or... Oh boy, the Bog Guardian seems to be rather strong there. I guess one way I could make it more challenging is to use a different companion. The reason why I'm using the Bog Guardian is to avoid getting into trouble in the courtyard, because the courtyard is a place where I'm running in, where it's very easy to pull the entire courtyard. Everybody was dead before the debuff from the Venomous Blood Arrow died off. Now there's... Oh, well, he died anyway. As said, there is a bit of a debuff on enemies in the lower levels of skirmishes, which they don't get rid of until you're around level 40-ish. And it's most pronounced below level 30 because when they originally scaled and balanced skirmishes, they were balanced to have a minimum level 30. When they reduced the level down to 20, they did not rebalance how skirmishes were scaled, and the difficulty ramps up as you go through the lower level. So it's not suddenly at level 40ish where they suddenly start to get a little bit more challenging. There is a jump there that is a little bit sudden and feels difficult, but there is this gradual increase also before you get to that jump. The result is that they're most difficult then at level 41. Alright, there we go. But the other one is because of the gradual increase on it, and that it was balanced for so a new skirmisher would be able to survive at level 30. That when they rescaled it to start at level 20, the levels below level 30 were just way ridiculously easy, since they also scaled in the same way as the lower levels, meaning they ramped it up slowly on there. It's just that the beginning of the ramp is a lot more, it's a lot lower. No, not the venomous blood arrow. Time I got through anything? Time I got a shot off, they were all dead. Alright. I wonder if I can get a shot off this time. Very well. So I'm not going to be doing too many of these at lower level, just for that reason. I'll probably do my next skirmish for the show either A, if I'm a little bit low on finding stuff for leveling, or the other case will be when I hit level 40ish. I'll also run one just to show you what I mean on there, though. How balanced the Lore Master is at that point, since there is going to be a patch tomorrow. They may have some rebalancing on the Lore Master. We shall see. But you can see, this was too easy. So maybe I should have tried tier 3 instead. Or maybe a level or two. Normally at level 20 there's little incentive, because while one of the incentives, as I said, was to add more challenges without making the defenders too brittle, the other reason why you may play up a few levels is to go into a new rewards band, and since the next rewards band isn't till level 30, there isn't I can't go that high, since there are limits to how high I could push a skirmish. But yeah, so all I got there were a couple of bounties, but when you consider how easy they are at that level, that's probably all I should be getting. But that's our first skirmish. Now normally when I'm at level 20 I would be looking around to see if there's anything I need in the skirmish camp to buy, but let's face it, I seem to be powerful enough as it is, so the last thing I need to do is go out and get more stuff to make me even more powerful. What I do need to do, though, is to turn in those quests from our last episode, where I was gathering the shards, killing spiders, finding some barrow treasures. So let's turn these in. Okay, he wants me to turn in barrow treasures.
Greetings.
Very well. You have done it! Look here! Pine Wolf wasn't scared to go out into these old hills. Ah! Don't mind the other hunters. They all have superstitious fools. They think Barrel Downs is haunted. Can you believe it? He probably doesn't want to hear how I got those things then.
What can I do for you?
You have done us all a great service by your deeds. Your name will be spoken fondly throughout Bree. In other words, you'll earn some rep. Interesting enough, he gives you 10 of those
Greetings.
coins for doing it. So just turning in that quest could have also have earned the coins needed for the other first quest. Thank you for bringing me these barrow shards from the depths of the Barrow Downs. Very well, that should get me a couple of coins there. I'm so used to calibrating how long it takes to get to level 21 based on a single run of Tuckborough, but that was always using with one of my experience accelerators on. I don't have any turned on at the moment due to the fact that I was leveling so quickly as it was. So I got myself a little bit off guard there. After a little crafting to bring up my experience a little bit, I now am able to be within reach of level 21, so I will do these tasks to finish the job. Let's get some blackened carapaces, blackened sword sheaths, broken wood maces, pitted finger bones, and glistening filth. Alright, pitted finger bones and glistening filth. So we should turn these in, and it should hit us to 21. And he's the next guy we need to talk to in a Tuckborough also. Well,
What can I do for you? What do you need?
there's a quest where they send you all over Bree to talk to everyone.
What can I do for you?
I'm not bothering to put you through that
Greetings.
entire tour, which is why you haven't seen me do the earlier parts
How
of it
can
yet.
I be of service?
And pitted finger bones.
Greetings.
That should bring up my rep a little bit. Speaking of rep, while we were in the rep dungeon, of course, a few things dropped for rep. Now, we of course had these barrow treasures. Now, I'm going to hold on to some of those for now, simply because the barrow treasures are going to be useful for trading in things later, and so I don't want to dump them just yet. But the trinkets, pure rep. And we also get some Mathams for the Matham Society drop in there also. In fact, that's one of the earliest places where you can get Mathams. So that'll help me with my rep with the hobbits. That should sort things out a little bit. So, therefore, that puts us ready at level 21, where next time we can return to Tom Bombadil and take care of the Great Barrows and finish up Volume 1 of the Epic Story.